Welcome to an important area of research methodology, statistical tools for data analysis, or how to choose the right data analysis tool. Let me start from descriptive statistics. That means tools for descriptive analysis. Descriptive statistics is used to describe the data. If the type of measurement is nominal, then frequency table, mode, etc. can be used. If the type of measurement is ordinal, then median, quartiles, percentiles, rank correlation, etc. can be used. If the type of measurement is interval, arithmetic mean, correlation coefficient, etc. can be used. Then if the type of measurement is ratio, index numbers, geometric mean, harmonic mean, etc. can be used for analysis. First one, frequency table. Frequency table is a descriptive statistics. A frequency table is a table that lists items and shows the number of times the items occur. There will be two columns. First column lists the items and the second column shows the number of times each item occur. For example, the first column shows the performance of the students in an examination, first class, second class, third class, etc. Then the second column shows the number of students who performed in these classes. That means how many students got first class, how many students got second class, etc. Then second one, arithmetic mean. It is the average obtained by taking the sum of a series of numbers divided by the count of numbers. It is a simple average. It can be obtained by dividing the sum of a series of numbers by the count of numbers. Then third one, median. Median is the middlemost value of a series of numbers when the values are arranged in ascending or descending order of magnitudes. In order to compute median, we have to arrange the values either in ascending or descending order of magnitudes. Then we can take the middlemost value. It is the median. Then mode. The mode is the most common number that appears most often in a set of data values. So it is the modal value, or it is the most common number appears in a set of data values. Then rank correlation is the next one. It is a statistics that measure the ordinal association between the values of a set of data. So it measure or it indicates the ordinal association between the values of a set of or series of data. Then correlation coefficient. It is a numerical value calculated to measure the strength of relationship between two variables. So a correlation coefficient measure and indicates the strength of relationship between two variables. Next, quartiles. The values which divide a set of data which is arranged in ascending or descending order of magnitudes into four equal parts are called quartiles. The first, second and third quartiles are denoted by Q1, Q2 and Q3. The second quartile Q2 represents the middle value or median. Then interquartile range. It is the difference between third quartile and first quartile. Deciles and percentiles. Deciles divide the data into 10 parts and percentiles divide the data into 100 parts. Next, index number. It is a number showing the variation in a price or value compared with the price or value at a specified earlier time. That is the base value. It is a number calculated by comparing the price or value with the price or value at a specified earlier time. That means the value or price is compared with a base value and a number is calculated. That number is called index number. Then geometric mean. Geometric mean is an average which indicates the central tendency of a set of numbers by using the product of their values. In arithmetic mean, it is calculated by using the sum of their values, but here it is calculated by using the product of their values. The geometric mean is defined as the nth root of the product of n numbers. Then next one, harmonic mean. Harmonic mean is a type of average that is calculated by dividing the number of values in a data set by the sum of their reciprocals of each value. The next topic, main statistical tests or tools for inferential analysis or inferential statistics. First one, parametric tests. Parametric tests are those that make assumptions about the parameters of the population distribution from which the sample is drawn. So parametric tests are used to make assumptions about the population with the help of sample data. Then what are the main assumptions in parametric test? There are three main assumptions. First one, population distribution is normal. The population is normally distributed. Then levels of measurement is interval or ratio, at least interval or ratio. Then data is taken as random samples. Parametric tests are used when the population data is normally distributed. Parametric tests are done based on mean and standard deviation. Non-parametric test is the next category of test. Non-parametric test does not make any assumptions about the parameters of the population distribution. Non-parametric tests are distribution free and can be used for normal and non-normal data. Non-parametric tests are distribution free. We can use non-parametric tests for normal data and non-normal data. When data are not distributed normally or when they are on an ordinal level of measurement, non-parametric test is suitable for analysis. Generally, the non-parametric tests are used when the data is not normally distributed. Let us analyze the most common tests used for analysis. The commonly used parametric tests are Pearson correlation, parametric regression, students t-test. There are three types of students t-test: independent sample t-test, paired sample t-test, and one sample t-test. Then analysis of variance, ANOVA, which consists of one-way ANOVA and two-way ANOVA. Then MANOVA and ANCOVA. The non-parametric test consists of Spearman's rank correlation, non-parametric regression, chi-square test, Wilcoxon test, Mann-Whitney U test, Kruskal-Wallis H test, etc. First one, students t-test. It is used to examine whether there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. So, t-test is used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two groups, which may be related in certain features or independent. Then there are three types of t-test. First one, an independent sample t-test, which compares the means of two groups. Then a paired sample t-test. It compares the means from the same group at different times. Then a one sample t-test, which compares the means of a single group against a non-mean or hypothetical value. Student t-test can be applied when there are two variables. The first variable or the independent variable is categorical with two levels. Categorical with or factor with two levels. For example, gender. Gender is a categorical variable. If the levels of gender is 2, that means male and female. Sometimes it may be 3, male, female and transgender. In this case, gender with 2 levels, male and female. Then second variable is continuous. For example, test score. That means the score or mark obtained by students in an examination. It is a continuous variable. So in this case, we can use t-test. If the independent variable had more than 2 levels, we would use one-way ANOVA. If the independent variable had more than 2 levels, that means gender with 3 levels, male, female and transgender. In this case, we have to use one-way ANOVA. Next, one-way analysis of variance or one-way ANOVA. One-way ANOVA is used to test the significance of differences between means of two unrelated groups. So, one-way ANOVA is used to measure whether there is any significant difference between the means of two unrelated groups. It can be applied when one or independent variable, the first or independent variable is categorical with 3 or more levels. For example, level of education. Level of education is a categorical variable with more than 3 levels. The levels are illiterate, below matriculation, undergraduate, graduate, postgraduate, etc. So, the first variable is categorical with 3 or more levels, and then the second or dependent variable is continuous. For example, test score. That means the mark obtained by students in an examination. Then next, two-way ANOVA. Two-way ANOVA is used to compare the mean differences between a dependent variable and two independent variables. So, two-way ANOVA is used to measure whether there is any significant difference between the mean values of a dependent variable and two independent variables. So, two-way ANOVA is used when there are two categorical variables. When there are two categorical independent variables. So, independent variables are two categorical variables with 3 or more levels. Two categorical variables with 3 or more levels. For example, level of education and computer literacy. These variables are categorical and with 2 or more levels. Then dependent variable. one continuous variable. For example, test score. That means the marks obtained by students in an examination. So two-way ANOVA is used when there are two categorical variable as independent and one continuous variable as dependent. Then MANOVA, multiple analysis of variance, or MANOVA, is an advanced form of more basic analysis of variance, or ANOVA. MANOVA extends the techniques to studies with two or more related dependent variables. So it is used when there are two or more related dependent variables. One-way MANOVA is used when there are one categorical independent variable and two or more continuous dependent variable. One-way ANOVA is used when there are one categorical independent variable, one independent variable which is categorical, and two or more continuous dependent variable. There will be two or more dependent variable and all these variables are continuous. Then two-way MANOVA is used when there are two categorical independent variables and two or more continuous dependent variable. So two-way MANOVA is used when there are two categorical independent variables and two or more continuous dependent variables. Then next, ANCOVA. It is used to analyze the effect of one factor and one continuous variable as independent on a single continuous dependent variable. So there will be two independent variable. One is a categorical variable or factor variable, and the another one is a continuous variable. On a single continuous dependent variable, there will be one continuous dependent variable or single continuous dependent variable. It is used when there are two independent variables, a categorical and a continuous variable. Then there is only one dependent variable, that is continuous variable. The next one, Pearson correlation. Correlation analysis measures the degree of association between two or more variables. Correlation analysis produces a statistic called the correlation coefficient, which denotes by the letter R. To conduct correlation test, independent and dependent variable must be continuous. So both the variable must be continuous. For example, score in test 1, score in test 2. It consists of simple and multiple correlation. Pearson correlation is the parametric version of correlation. Pearson's correlation coefficient is the covariance of the two variables divided by the product of their standard deviations. The next one, regression. Regression analysis is a form of predictive modeling technique which investigates the relationship between a dependent variable and an independent variable. Regression analysis helps one understand how the value of the dependent variable changes when any one of the independent variable is varied while the other independent variables are held fixed. So regression analysis helps to predict the value of the dependent variable when there are changes in the values of independent variable. Clear? This technique is used for forecasting, time series modeling, and finding the causal effect relationship between the variables. It consists of simple linear regression, multiple regression, non-parametric regression, etc. Let me come to non-parametric test. First one, chi-square test. It is a non-parametric test. It is used to test the association between two categorical variables. It is used to test the independence, goodness of fit, homogeneity of samples, etc. It is used when there are two variables. The independent variable is categorical and the dependent variable is also categorical. Then one sample Wilcoxon test. It is an alternative of one sample t-test. It compares the mean of a single group against a non-mean or a hypothetical value. Then Mann-Whitney U-test is an alternative of independent sample t-test which compares the means of two groups. Then Wilcoxon test, it's an alternative of paired sample t-test which compares the means from the sample group at different times. Then Kruskal-Wallis H-test, it's an alternative of one-way ANOVA which compares the means of three or more unmatched groups. Then goals and tests. If you want to describe one group, you can use descriptive statistics such as mean, standard deviation if the data is normally distributed. Then non-parametric alternatives are median, interquartile range, etc. Then compare one group to a hypothetical value. If you want to compare one group with a hypothetical value, then you can use one sample t-test. Then There is a non-parametric alternative one sample Wilcoxon test. Then if you want to compare two unpaired groups, then you can use independent sample t-test. Non-parametric alternative is Mann-Whitney U-test. Then if you want to compare two paired groups, then you can use paired sample t-test. The non-parametric alternative is Wilcoxon test. Then if you want to compare two or more group with more levels, that means two or more group with more levels, ANOVA, you can use ANOVA, one-way ANOVA or two-way ANOVA. The alternatives are Kruskal-Wallis H-test, Friedman test, etc. Kruskal-Wallis H-test is the alternative of non-parametric alternative of one-way ANOVA, and Friedman test is the non-parametric alternative of two-way ANOVA. Then if you want to quantify association between two variables, you can use Pearson correlation. Then the non-parametric alternative is Spearman's rank correlation. If you want to predict the value from another measured variable, then you can use simple linear regression. The alternative, non-parametric alternative is non-parametric regression. Then nature of variables and tests. If there are two variables, the first variable is categorical and the second variable is also categorical. That means both the variables are categorical. In this case, you can use chi-square test. For example, the first variable is gender with 2 or 3 levels, male, female and transgender. And the second variable is also categorical. For example, level of awareness, fully aware, aware, not aware, etc. In this case, you can use chi-square test. Then, if the first variable is categorical with 2 level, for example, gender with 2 level, male and female, and the second variable is continuous, for example, test score, the mark obtained by students in an examination. In this case, you can use t-test. And the third case, categorical with the first variable is categorical with more than 2 levels. For example, level of education. It is a categorical variable with more than 2 level. Illiterate, less than matriculation, undergraduate, graduate, postgraduate, etc. And the second variable is continuous. For example, test score, the marks obtained by students in an examination. In this case, you can use ANOVA. Then, if the first variable is continuous and the second variable is also continuous, that means both the variables are continuous, you can use correlation and regression. So correlation and regression can be used if both the variables are continuous. For example, test scores in 2 examinations. The scores obtained by student in the first examination, the scores obtained by students in second examination. Let me present it in another way. If the independent variable is single categorical with a different level, that means only one independent variable which is categorical with the different levels. So one independent categorical variable and the dependent variable is continuous variable. So only one independent variable and one dependent variable. Independent variable is categorical with a different level. Dependent variable is continuous. Then in this case, we can use one-way ANOVA. Then 2 or more categorical with a different level. There are 2 or more independent variable with different levels and there is one dependent variable which is continuous. In this case, we can use two-way ANOVA. Then one categorical and one continuous. There are 2 independent variables. One is categorical and one is continuous. And there is one dependent variable which is continuous. In this case, we can use ANCOVA. Then there is one categorical variable as independent or only one independent variable which is categorical, then 2 continuous variable as dependent. That means 2 dependent variable, one independent variable which is categorical and 2 dependent variables which is continuous. In this case, we can use one-way ANOVA. Then if there are 2 categorical independent variable, there are 2 independent variable, both are categorical, and 2 dependent variable which are continuous. 2 independent variable that are categorical and 2 dependent variable which are continuous. In this case, we can use two-way ANOVA. What do you mean by multivariate analysis? Multivariate analysis is the analysis used when there are 2 or more dependent or independent variable at a time. So multivariate analysis is used when we want to analyze 2 or more dependent or independent variable at a time. There are many statistical techniques for conducting multivariate analysis. The most common multivariate techniques are multiple regression analysis, path analysis, factor analysis, MANOVA, ANCOVA, etc. Thank you.